The wheels on that shuttle cost $500,000, $500,000, $500,000. The wheels on that shuttle cost $500,000. That's what the court said. I'm Andrei Minkov, the founder of Trademark Factory, and in this video I'm going to share my thoughts about yet another trademarking screw-up. This time around, it's Kansas City Shuttle Company winning $500,000 from another one with virtually the same name. All right, I'm going to start by reading from the article, and you can find the link in the description below. Kansas City Shuttle Company ordered to pay $500,000 for trademark infringement. Same owners face new complaints for new business. All right, let's see what this is about. A trademark dispute has resulted in a more than $500,000 judgment against the operators of a Kansas City area shuttle service. The 41 Action News investigators first reported about the dispute and pending court action last year. Pakistani immigrant Khalid Malik spent 18 years working his way from a driver to the owner of Quicksilver Shuttle. Good for him. However, Nicholas Saylor used the name Quicksilver for his business, missing only the C from Quicksilver, which had multiple complaints against it of overcharging customers for one ride or even a canceled ride. Wow. I love those local news when, you know, even little things are presented as if it's a really huge deal. Even a canceled ride. Oh my God. But in all seriousness, so this Pakistani immigrant, Khalid Malik, has this company, Quicksilver Shuttle. And Nicholas Saylor used the name Quicksilver without the C, Quicksilver, Q-U-I-K, Silver, for his business to offer pretty much the same type of services, only the quality of those services was horrible compared to the Quicksilver with the C. So let's keep going. A federal judge in September entered a default judgment against Saylor and his mother, Dinah, when the Saylors failed to show up in court. So not just against Nicholas, but also against his mother. Under the terms of that judgment, the judge ordered the Saylors to pay nearly $507,000 in damages and said the Saylors can't use Quicksilver with a C, Quicksilver without the C, or any other similar names for their business ever again. So here's what Malik says. We lost 80% of the business when they were using our name. Within a matter of months, almost 6 months, they destroyed everything I worked 18 years for. Now that is the power of the brand. Even in the local market, even when it looks like something so minor, if you worked for your business for 18 years, somebody stealing your name can destroy your business like this. That's exactly what happened. That's why they got the judgment for $500,000. Let me keep reading. Malik said he has lost roughly $1 million in business over the last few years, fighting the Saylors over the name. Despite the federal judgment in his favor, he's skeptical he will collect any of the money. It's just a paper to me right now because they don't have the money to collect and we don't even know where they are, Malik said. The 41 Action News investigators went looking for the Saylors in Jackson County Court last week. However, they did not show up to court for an eviction hearing against them. As a result, the judge issued a default judgment against Nick and his brother, Austin Saylor, booting them out of an apartment complex in Kansas City's Westport neighborhood. So let me go back to this idea. Yes, you can have a judgment that says you are owed $500,000, but it could be not worth even the paper and the ink it's printed with, because if you can't enforce it, if you don't have somebody to enforce it against, or if they don't have the funds to pay you, well, that's really all you got. You get the few minutes of celebration, like, yes, I won, but you can't really do anything with it. However, the important thing, and I'll cover this in more detail in a moment, the important thing is that they got also the permanent injunction for sailors to use that brand. They cannot use the name Quicksilver. So the beauty with brick and mortar businesses, the beauty of that is if somebody is infringing on your brand, they have to physically be present, right? You cannot offer shuttle services unless you are offering shuttle services, right? It's something that you can be caught red-handed doing. So it's not that you can do it, online from some godforsaken country in a server that nobody can find. Here with brick and mortar, you either are offering shuttle services in that jurisdiction or you're not. And because they've got this judgment, it will be very easy to enforce that if sailors decide to go back to offering their services under that brand. So even though Malik has been damaged, and of course it will take some time for him to regain the trust, regain that business, at least he's got this judgment to be able to stop sailors from continuing their operations under the Quicksilver brand, and that's really important. Even if they don't collect on the money, even if sailors are gone forever from Kansas City, at least Malik can go back and rebuild and get that goodwill back. So let me keep reading. So 41 Action News investigators also went to that apartment complex looking for the sailors' brothers. No one answered the door, so they're not there. Better Business Bureau has known this group of people since before they were doing anything involving transportation services, said Aaron Reese, a spokesman for the BBB of Greater Kansas City. As the 41 Action News investigators first reported in 2017, Austin, Nick, and Dinah Sailor have had multiple problematic shuttle and other businesses in the past. Complaints against those businesses include charging customers multiple times for a service or not providing a service at all while still charging customers. Now, there are two new and unresolved BBB complaints against the sailors for a ride service called Black Sea. The company hasn't responded to those complaints, so the BBB's current rating for Black Sea is a D+. If there's no response to the complaints from the company, that rating will drop to an F. The funny thing with Better Business Bureau ratings is that only companies that have an excellent rating would show that rating, and those who don't typically just don't advertise it, and most people will never know. Most people will never find out that they don't have an excellent rating, so it kind of defeats the purpose. But in this case, again, even if you've got an F rating or whatever, the worst possible rating, most people would still get conned because they would not be checking the BBB rating for every possible provider of the service. So let's keep going. On the TripAdvisor website, there are multiple comments about Black Sea, all of them negative. One comment reads, "Please do not use this business. They do not pay their drivers. Horrible customer service. It's a ripoff scam." All right, so you can finish reading the article yourself, but here are a couple of lessons that to get from this. One, there's no guarantee that you would not be ripped off. You can have everything done right. You can have everything aligned perfectly, but once you've built something successful, there will be people who will try to take a free ride on your reputation and on your brand. You always get haters, you always get copycats. And it's up to you to make sure that you've got your brand protected, you've got your business protected, so that you could take steps to prevent that from happening or minimize the damage, like in this case. So that's the first lesson. The second lesson is, of course, that the judgment, especially the money part of it, is not necessarily a guarantee that you're going to see the money. But the important thing with trademarks and with trademark infringement lawsuits is that in the end of the day, if you win, it's not just about the money, it's also about your right to enforce the prohibition for everyone else to use your brand against your wish. That's the biggest value of the trademarks, because they give you the monopoly to enforce your exclusive right to the use of the name. And even if they will never see the money in that award, they will be able to pretty easily enforce their monopoly against anybody else. Well, not against anybody else, against sailors, if they were to come back and try to offer the shuttle services under Quicksilver brand, whether it's with C or without the C. And the third lesson here is that just by changing a letter, as long as the overall perception of the brand remains the same, it doesn't matter how you spell it, it's still trademark infringement. That's the beauty of trademarks, because they don't just protect you from somebody else ripping you off with the exact same brand. So changing a letter, adding a word does not always result, actually almost never results in you being able to get away with that. That's the beauty of trademarks, and that's something that's commonly misunderstood by people who don't understand how trademarks work, because when we see those disputes and you read the comments, people are like, well, just, add a little bit, or change the syllable, or change the spelling, and you'll be good to go. No. Adding a common misspelling or not common misspelling, adding a misspelling into the brand does not allow you to get away from the finding of you infringing somebody else's brand. So these three lessons are the most important ones from the story. I hope you found it useful. If you did, make sure you subscribe, get notified whenever the next video goes live. Click that bell button, like this video, post a comment if you have some thoughts of your own. If you've got a question you want me to answer, again, post a comment below. And if you've got a brand that you want to protect, make sure you go to trademarkfactory.com and book your call with our strategy advisors, and they'll help you take it from there. And until then, I will see you in the next video. The wheels on that shuttle cost $500,000. $500,000. Damn, it's a lot of money.